What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Litecoin. But before we get started, if you're not a member of the free Discord, please click the link in the description box below and get started with the free Discord. And without further ado, we'll get straight into today's video. Okay, so Litecoin, we're starting off here on the daily candlesticks. And the first thing I want to show you guys here is the Elliott wave count for Litecoin. So we have wave 1 and wave 2. You can see this ABC correction down for wave 2. Now we're expecting wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 to come in the near future for Litecoin. Now, personally, I think wave 5 will take us up towards this area of resistance over here, which is the B wave on our ABC correction down. So we have wave A, wave B, and wave C. Now that's the common place for this first Elliott wave impulse to go after a big correction like this, to go back up to wave B during the recovery process. And in fact, a really good example of this is Dogecoin, which did exactly what I'm talking about. And a lot of coins actually exceed their wave B when they break out, but that's generally the area that they at least go to. So you can see wave B right here, big ABC correction. The market cycle starts to recover here, and you can see that we get our bullish recovery right up into wave B right here. And in fact, we broke above wave B here on Dogecoin. So that's a perfect example of what it looks like after a big ABC correction in the big picture here, and what it looks like as the market recovers and breaks out of wave 1 and wave 2 up towards a new local high. That's the structure that the market makes when it starts to turn around. And like I said, wave B is the most common place for that breakout to occur. Once you bottom out down here and start to turn around on the upside, usually that breakout goes up towards wave B. So that's what I'm expecting for Litecoin here in the near future. Going back over to the Litecoin chart, again, you can see big ABC correction. We're starting to recover. We've already seen wave 1 and wave 2. Now I think wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 will take us up to this area of resistance up here in wave B, which is about $300 right here per Litecoin. Now that doesn't mean that that's the end of the entire bull market, but that would just be the first area of resistance that we're looking for the next bullish impulse to go into, would be $300 per coin. So that's what I'm seeing here on the daily time frame. And in fact, if we go to a bigger time frame and look at Litecoin over on Bitfinex, which has the most historical data. So whenever you're looking at different coins on TradingView, you usually have to look through different exchanges to figure out where that coin has been available for trading the longest, because that's going to give you the most historical data. And you can see Bitfinex is that place for Litecoin that has a lot of historical data. And if we pull up the Litecoin chart here in the big picture, this accumulation pattern reminds me a lot of NVIDIA. So if we pull up NVIDIA over here on the right and take a look at the NVIDIA early accumulation cycle before NVIDIA became a household name and became mass adopted, that accumulation pattern looked very, very similar to Litecoin today. So we'll pull up NVIDIA on the right here, and we'll keep Litecoin over here on the left. So you can see early on, when NVIDIA was just a graphics card company that was not a household name, it was starting to grow. There was excitement about it, but it wasn't a household name. It accumulated for multiple years within a given range, really shaking a lot of retail out of the market, because retail would have been buying highs and selling lows. And also it took a long time before it really took off. So a lot of retail would have given up purely because of how long it took through this period right here. But that accumulation pattern is identical to me. It's the exact same structure here on Litecoin that we're seeing with NVIDIA over here on the right that occurred back in the 2000s before NVIDIA took off and actually became a household name, right? Which is what happened with NVIDIA as a company. I think the same thing is coming for crypto. Litecoin isn't the only coin that looks like the same accumulation pattern right here. There's quite a few others that also look like this. So I think crypto as a whole, as an industry, is getting ready for mass adoption to become a household name. It's already started with Bitcoin a little bit, and I think it's coming for the rest of the crypto markets. And you can see it in these accumulation patterns. So this accumulation should take us up towards a new all-time high for Litecoin that could really take off to levels people are not looking at right now, most people at least. And when it does that, mass adoption is going to be taking place. And that mass adoption is going to look like a lot of vertical movement for crypto, including Litecoin. I think Litecoin is going to go nuts. So this thing could go easily over $1,000, which is 10x from here. You know, it could go a lot higher than $1,000 before it tops out. Mass adoption means that the demand for something is going to keep increasing, and that drives prices higher and higher. Bear markets always come eventually, but when something's being adopted, the demand drives price higher and higher and higher. And all of those dips are bought back up like crazy. So I really think that's what's coming for Litecoin, is that kind of expansion where Litecoin becomes a household name, where it becomes adopted and used as an everyday technology, just like how the internet and computing companies started to get adopted and really started to take off. Their stocks took off. I think a lot of cryptos are about to take off because of mass adoption. And because of that demand continually increasing, all of the dips are going to be bought back up, and the bull market's going to be really, really big and really profitable. So I'm really excited because of that. We're going to make a lot of money, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So get excited about the markets, you guys. Litecoin is ready to blow people away and knock their socks off. And when it does that, it's going to be fun. There's almost nothing funner than riding these huge pumps in the market where crypto goes vertical. And yeah, of course, it will get overvalued and there will be a correction, but riding that pump and selling into it is one of the funnest feelings ever. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun this bull market. And Litecoin, I think, is going to be a very, very profitable player during this bull market. So I love this setup here in the big picture, as well as in the short term for Litecoin. Again, we can see that ABC correction, the recovery, the first Elliott wave impulse, and the beginning of a new cycle. It looks a lot like early day Bitcoin, and it looks a lot like early day NVIDIA. So study these cycles. Go study old tech stocks. Go study what happened to commodity markets and gold and silver, and look at the way the market behaves and study those cycles, because that's what's going to teach you the human psychology. That's what's going to teach you what it looks like when people are participating in these market cycles, what it looks like when it's too euphoric and it has to pull back, what it looks like when a new technology is being adopted, like the internet. And if you study those cycles and you study the human psychology and the human emotion that takes place in these charts, it repeats itself because human biology is consistent. We have biological responses to things. So you can find that same cycle, that same accumulation structure in multiple different markets across multiple time frames. In other words, the markets are fractal in nature. The same patterns appear over and over again because human biology never changes. We have biological responses. We get too excited and too fearful, especially when it comes to money. So it creates these very vivid patterns over and over again. And if you study those patterns and learn how to see them, then you can buy Litecoin right now, for example, before it breaks out and before it grows and becomes mass adopted, because you understand the psychology of what's happened to other markets in the past during their same phase of growth and expansion. So yeah, I think really big things are coming for Litecoin this cycle. Definitely you have a lot of reasons to be excited about the markets, to be focused on the big picture, and to be accumulating a lot of crypto, as much as you possibly can. And if you do those things, if you keep accumulating crypto, when this market turns around here and really breaks out in the big picture, you're going to be richly rewarded for your efforts. So that's my update on Litecoin. Big things coming in the big picture, and I'm very excited about it in the short term as well as in the big picture. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.